Mashin Sentai Kiramager is the 44th Super Sentai series, themed around crystals, sparkles, and machines. After an ambitious trio of shows of Kyuranger, Lupin Ranger vs. Powder Ranger, and Real Soldier, Kiramager went back to basics with a very simple premise done with a special shine. Head written by Naruhisa Arakawa, who wrote GoZyuger, Aba Ranger, and Deca Ranger for the Super Sentai franchise, Kiramager revolves around 5 extremely talented individuals being chosen to become heroes to defeat an oncoming invasion of evildoers, which is one of the most Sentai premises to ever Sentai. But there's a reason it works, as it lets us pull a variety of fun character archetypes for our core cast. In fact, each member of the team still attend a profession throughout the show, which not only makes the world feel more fleshed out with the different locations we visit outside of the headquarters and battles, but it also lets us see why our heroes are so good at their talent and leads to entertaining conflict when the monster of the week comes to mess their job up. A good example of this can be seen with my favorite character in the show, Shigeru, aka Kirame Blue, a seemingly cool-headed actor who keeps his vulnerable aspects of his persona hidden from the public to keep his badass front. Sayo, aka Kirame Pink, is the most level-headed of the team, needing that level head as a professional doctor compared to the other female member, Sina, aka Kirame Green, who's a hot-headed, speedy athlete. While Tame Tomo, aka Kirame Yellow, may not be the face of the show, he still often leads the team while coming up with plans to win the day, which makes sense for his job being the leader of an esports team. Then there's the actual face of the show, Juru, aka Kirame Red. What he lacks in plans, he makes up for in his optimism and inspiring imagination. His creativity in particular does help buff the team with new equipment and mecha throughout the show since he's an imaginative illustrator. Sadly, while the 6th Ranger Kirame Silver has a lot of cool connections to the overall lore of the show, he didn't stand out that much to me as a character. He's alright, but compared to how defined the roles and personalities of the core Kiramagers are, Silver just kind of felt like a standard 6th Ranger to me. In general, while I enjoyed watching Kiramager, something about the writing made me think it was playing it too safe in terms of Super Sentai. At first, I didn't get the huge enthusiasm some corners of the Western Super Sentai fanbase had for it. But then it hit me. More than any other Super Sentai series, we have to acknowledge when this show was aired. 2020. Kiramager started airing the same month the world was forced to go into lockdown over the COVID-19 pandemic. Emotional tensions were high for all sorts of people all over the world, young and old. Even filming of Toei's weekly superhero shows were interrupted for a bit. Eventually, production of both Kamen Rider and Super Sentai got back on track, with many finding comfort in this time with indie shows. The consistent quality of Kiramager proved to be a beacon of hope for many in this harsh time. Older fans who stuck with the franchise found Kiramager was the kind of back-to-basic soul food they craved, and it still had a lot of flash and pizzazz that newer fans love. Overall, while Kiramager does lack an ambition or subversion of the Sentai formula for my personal liking, it makes up for it in terms of the pure fun factor. Just because its selling point is about going back to basics doesn't mean it sacrifices all the advancements the Sentai franchise has made till now, especially in some of the radical action set pieces we see from time to time. I could see why many would call this their favorite modern Super Sentai show, even if I think it's the weakest entry of the 2020s lineup so far, but hey, I guess that shows how cracked Reiwa Sentai has been if the lowest we can get is still a shining solid series.